4. And their families that come from that Albert family, Salam family, George's family, Jim's. And that's how they were removed out of the canyons because they utilized the canyons for portland target practicing. And some of them moved to Rocket, our relatives in Rocket, at Kamilpa. We currently have a longhouse there at Kamilpa still to this day. But also I want to mention the place called Pushpum that had a band of Indians also. It was a big village. Another place across the river. And for the record from media, I'm not giving history from Yakima Reservation and even real river people history. This is coming from our own people. They made sure that our identity was recognized that way. So the river at one time that up until the time of Chief Philip, which consisted of men from these bands of Indians. And anyway, continuing on down the river, you see across the river is another river, a small river. That's Takshpush. That name that Jeremy has, Bakhanashak, his name comes from that band of Indians. Our family, the Billy family, we have lineage and we have burial grounds there at John Day River on the Billy side. In other families, a lot of them got moved to Warm Springs. So we have relatives over there. And also Sundale, Pawash, was a group of Indians. I'm kind of cold. I'm not saying these in order because there's an order. Kamilpa, and then Wallawitis, Maryhill, where the state park is today, was a village of Wallawitis. They were river people. And then down to the Salilo Falls, Skinpa on the north side, and Wayam, Salilo on the south side. We are all mid-Columbia River Indians, Wanna Tapa Kananma, in our language called Wahupam Sinwit. That is as many people that I can remember. We are between the Ibatala River, known as Ibatala, and down to the Wangawi Issues River. We're all mid-Columbia River Indians. And we have relatives down below where the language changes. Pushpum, Dalsport, Spearfish. And across the river, another language, another group of Indians where the city of the Dalles now sits is Waskupang people. And then you continue on downriver is another group of Indians, a larger group of Indians known as Hoshwaipum, which includes the Klickitat, Hood River, White Salmon, Wind River, and further on, I could not tell you anymore. There are neighbors, relatives, the Hoshwaipum people. So there are 4 languages in this region of the river told by our people, and we are one of those languages. When we were here last in April on the 11th, we did a ceremony, our longhouse service here to open up the ground in a respectful way. There was no cameras or any such thing allowed. And we broke it into 2 separate events, I guess. The first one being a ceremony. And we were told history further by our aunts who are our aunt who's from Walla, and also, which is the Hotopat family. Cynthia, Elaine, she's they're descendants of Wallawitis. They had an ancestor, her name was Timenwai. And she used to come up here somehow by foot. That's what our aunt was saying. That was her great grandma. Somehow she had a way to make her way up by foot on this ridge. And then she would dig her way to Centerville, to Tai, so it's called an Indian Tai, and make her way to Blockhouse. So that's a ways to go throughout this fruit season. And that lady was from Malawi Peace. So I just want to go over a quick round that was patterned by the Mid-Columbia River Indians. Our season starts at the foot of this hill in the end of winter, the start of spring. We have our first roots. They're the leader of the roots. They come up, we call latid latid. They're the leaders of the roots. And it moves up in elevation. Some people, they still follow that elevation pattern. They start low. When you move up, follow them towards the forest. Then that leads to a time where piachi comes up, the bitter roots and other roots. That's where it comes from. Nobody planted these foods, nobody brought it. It was intended for us to be. Now this level here in the plateau, these ridges here, move up in a higher forest. Then about this time, this moon that is up called Chavital, and our people would travel to Blue Mountains. You can barely see the Blue Mountains off the distance. That's where my people live. From all these bands that I named, the Wayam people, they had a route traveling over the John Day. And if you were on this side of the river, you had to swim your horses across. Got in their canoes, packed their supplies to keep dry. They swim the horses across. There was a place to cross at Kamilpa, at Rock Creek, at Poanta, at Nawawi, places to cross. And they had different routes. They come together south of Compton, places we know named in our language. Then have feast for house. Then you move on further into those mountains for more roots. Become summer berries. Then before the dams, the fish were abundant. That's where we had kasuyas, the lamprey. That's where our people got it, from this area on the John Day River. Up to the headwaters of the John Day River, our travels. Myself, I travel that way on a vehicle. And when I'm at John Day, Canyon City, and it's time to come home, I look at that mileage sign to Arlington, 159 miles. I'm on a vehicle. And our people traveled that on horses. But they did it progressively in a season. And then it would complete with Wakamu, a camas, towards John Day. Ended in July, and you come back. Cast your food away. They had no freezers like we do today. No canning. Everything was dried. Cast your food away back in your winter village. Then they'd get ready and move to these mountains this way, to the Wunuwash, to the huckleberry fields. Statement made by numerous people. They said we moved together. We didn't go at our discretion as a family when we wanted to go. We did everything as a people. And our grandparents were the last of the generation that still traveled the horses to 1941, 42. They said we were the last families still doing this. The Georges, the Jims, Thompson family, Yellow, and Billy family. They were the last ones holding on to that lifestyle. To 1941 at Pearl Harbor. World War II changed our people's lives. Had a lot of impact, not just us, but all the different bands, tribes up the river, down. And then the dams came. Further displacement. And I hear the old people's talk. Yeah, we moved and we thought we were going to settle, get set into a house, and they come and tell us we gotta move now. The dam's coming. I know, we gotta move again. So that's kind of the things that our people went through, and for us, what we say, we're still here. We're resilient. We're alive. We're adaptive, and I think that's a neat piece of history to tell. We share that with our children. The endurance that we have today, we still get harassed for our food. We get called trespassers, like we're invading, like we're there for an ill manner. We go to the grounds for our food. We're not there to disturb or harass anything or anybody. Or if they have cattle there, they think we're harassing cattle. It's bothering cattle. So there's something to go through today, and want that to be a burden. And we appreciate the good relationships we have. We also recognize the good relationships, that everything is not all harsh and unfriendly. We do have many good friends that say you come dig on our land. We know your people did this before we owned this property. So I think I ran up by 40 minutes now. Now it's about 10 minutes. I'm good right there. Thank you.